Have you heard the news that San Francisco is thinking about giving 50,000 Black Americans $5 million each?
That would be nice.
In the spirit of reparations.
It's still not enough, but it's nice.
So my question is, why do you think those 50,000 people who have never been slaves or have never lived in a slave state, California was never a slave state, why are they entitled to reparations?
Because of their background?
But they've never been slaves.
But their ancestors have been.
That's what I'm saying is...
Who get to go first?
What I'm saying is...
They've
never been in a slave state.
Because if you think about it, look at where they are in life.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Look at where they are.
Look where you ladies are.
But we had to work hard.
So did I.
Because you're a minority.
LeBron James had to work hard too.
He's a minority.
But don't white people also have to work hard?
No, they don't.
You don't think so?
Because on paper, you and I can have the exact same credentials. We go to the same college.
Yep.
We make the same grades. We both probably qualify as valedictorian. But on paper, because my name is Benitra and his name James, they gonna look at James first because of his name. And then when they look into James, it's whoever.
Do you think that's still the case today? Because it seems...
Absolutely.
Well, for example, when Joe Biden brought in, what's her name, the spokesperson? Jean, no, the other one. The one that does the speeches every day. Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is.
Okay.
He specifically said, we're looking to hire only a Black female. He didn't say, I want the best possible person for the job.
I think the past should be the past. They talk about like, oh, leave that in the past and let it go on. But then they drag on Black people things. I think they should fuck it in the ass and let slavery be slavery. It's 150 years old. I wasn't living back then, so I don't give a rat's ass about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't think the people get no money because that is 150,000 billion years. They got to work hard like everybody else.
That's what I think.
You know what I'm saying? And as Black people, what we do while we are continuously in last place is because that ourselves, we not changing ourselves. We expect... Just like you said, because 2,000 years ago, they did this to us. Who gives a fuck what happened 2,000 fucking years ago? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's about what happened now. If we don't change now, then we can never do nothing. And at the end of the day, we are the chosen people, no matter however the fuck you said, whatever. We are them. But if we don't become as one and forget about the past, we will never be on top. We will never be on top because we hate to see one another. I don't think they should get the $50,000. I think they should work that too. $5 million. However, I think they should work hard like everybody else.
Because of what was imposed on us.
Fuck them.
They taught us how to hate ourselves. When you think about slavery, the same system is ran with the housing market. When you look at how they
did have a history of a lot of illegal things.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
And if that's the only thing you've been exposed to, like I want to be a dentist my whole life, but I'm just not at the point to where I feel like I can do it because I've never seen somebody that looked like me as a dentist. Everybody in my family are fucking teachers, and I ended up being a teacher because I seen it. So representation matters. So if you don't have that ability to tap in that part of your mind that you can still do it because you ain't seen it, it's hard for a lot of people to see, especially us, that it's a better life out there.
Right. I respect your opinion.
To let it go. I understand why we can't let it go.
I lean more towards agreeing with you because my grandfather on my dad's side was an indentured servant, right? And I'm Mexican. My ancestors were colonized by Spain,
right?
And they erased our language. But I don't want reparations. I'm not entitled to it.
It's not reparations.
It's too far gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to take it from what it is right now and move it. We weren't even thought about. I wasn't even a nut in my goddamn mama goddamn seed. She wasn't even a nut in her mama's seed. So how can I can't see it. I don't believe in Martin Luther King and stuff like that because it didn't do nothing for me because I'm 38 years old. I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I think America is an amazing country for upper mobility. Anybody
but they got to let things go, but they just try to do things to pamper it.
You let it go, but then you also have to like understand, like even with our parents with jobs. Let's let that be the topic with jobs. Like, okay.
No, it's beautiful.
All right, I appreciate you, ladies.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was great.
You're gonna go viral, by the way, on TikTok.
At the end of the day, it's my 31st birthday, and I don't give a fuck what they talking about.
Happy birthday.
It was nice, because I'm glad you agree with me.
And I like your dogs.
You're going viral, by the way. I guarantee it. Yeah, you brought like crazy energy. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's interesting, right? It's interesting. Yeah, we got to talk about it.
Day, you know what I'm saying? It is
Most people don't want to talk about it. They're scared today.
It's petty. It's petty to keep on. You, like I say, you see your teachers and be like, oh, forget about the past, what happened 3 years ago. But how you want me to forget what happened 3 years ago, but you don't want me to forget what happened 10 billion years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. So I'm with you on that. I don't think the money should be owed to nobody. Everybody should work hard. It's a change coming. It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do in this day and time.
I love it.
Who gives a fuck about what happened a billion years ago when we were slaves? I don't.
Right.
I don't know a slave.
I never had a slave.
I don't know a fucking slave.
I don't know that's been a slave.
I don't know. If my people were slaves, they was dead.
And by the way, did you know today Africa has a lot of slaves still? Africa?
Yeah.
That's what we got to be focusing on.
That's what we got to focus on.
Is going to other countries.
And stopping that.
And you know, trying to address situations there, you know. But
it is what it is.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. You might have heard in San Francisco they're thinking about giving out $5 million to 50,000 black people.
Okay.
Like, what are your thoughts on reparations?
Like, if anyone could get $5 million, hell yeah. But I guess it depends on the circumstance. I don't know.
African Americans have been disproportionately affected by redlining and everything in banking. So there's got to be some sort of some way of the number one way of accumulating wealth for generations is literally buying a house, right? Yep. And passing it on, and that wasn't made possible.
Or crypto 10 years ago, if you had that foresight. So my problem is California never was a slave state, and then I also think about all the other ethnicities in the world and races. We've all had our own trauma. My grandfather was an indentured servant, right? Yeah. My Mexican ancestors were colonized and conquered by the Spaniards. So am I entitled to reparations twice?
Well, everyone's been conquered at some point.
That's my point.
Yeah, but
so do we start giving out $5 million to everybody?
Yeah, but it depends on where you dig. I mean, like, you can.
Have you ever had a slave?
Huh?
Have you ever had a slave?
No, but like.
So would you want?
And my family's from Italy, but
they've had trauma too.
Everyone's had trauma, but at the same time, dude, within the last 50 to 100 years, there's been, about 13% of the population's black, right, in the United States.
Yep,
and
that's right.
They've been disproportionately affected by, the accumulation of wealth in other areas. So,
but there's a lot of poor white people too that don't have anything either. Do we give them also reparations?
Yeah, I think it's a sense. Do
you see where it gets tricky? Like, where does this end?
No, it's not an easy issue.
Right.
It's not an easy issue. There's a one size fits all solution.
Correct.
But, you have to look at it in that, okay, some people in California, and in another form of redlining, they fucking put federal highways through areas that were dominated by black people,
yep.
or they use eminent domain to acquire land that was these African Americans. So it's
right.
Black people. All right.
Yeah.
So, you gotta. There's a lot to think about, but it shouldn't be undermined. It's not a one size fits all.
That I agree with.